Sorry about that. As that great quote was said in the Battle of Chernobyl, the worst thing to come out of that meltdown reactor was not cesium, was not plutonium, was lies. That quote is so powerful. This war goes on for 24,100 years in the half-life. 50,000 years. This war goes on. You cannot hide in any corner of the earth. It encompasses the food chain as it is as Hayduke himself says in that beautiful, brilliant book George Washington says. There's only one battle really worth fighting for: the wilderness. Oh yeah. It's so true. It is not the banking crisis. It is not any other crisis. It is our lives. It is our health. As I've got to know so many of these young women, and I'm watching them fight and die. Fight and die. It is so heartbreaking, overwhelming. This is the one thing that I didn't know. I thought I was such an expert, which I have been, on this subject matter as I watched my father die, as I watched him zip in the body bag. This is not commentary anymore. This is pure documentary. As I'm fighting for my life every day. This is a hardcore. I don't think anybody has any clue. Me being alive right here, is it a total, absolute miracle? Oh yes, on so many levels. As it's been almost a year. Almost a year. I've got to know, as the doctor told me in there, one of those brilliant oncologists, says, Kevin, I thought young people didn't get this, young girls in their 20s. He says it's up 1,600%. It's a major epidemic, as we are the autism capital of the world. We are the extreme capital of the world. We are the leukemia capital of the world. We are the thyroid for one reason, and one reason only. 300 open-air tests in Nevada as they rained over some weird denials. Fresenius, Western Zirconium, the refiners are here for one reason, because 14 other states won't let them in. As they call themselves Christians on this thing, as we ruin this beautiful, incredible, magnificent landscape. I don't know if anybody's ever been here, but this is one magnificent place that we've ruined the air. It is smoggy. I can't shoot my videos from the jetty as I went out there, because I'm not going to do an injustice to the jetty. I will not do an injustice to Robert Smith as I met him in 1970, patted me on the head. He's a major inspiration to me. I'm not going to do it with that smog and that dirt in the air. I'll wait till that crystal blue air is there, as I do every year. I'll shoot some videos from there, and this will be continued. And this documentary is ongoing, and I will live to tell, and I will tell this tale in detail, with knowledge, with truth, with identification of what good information. This is history being made. This is the end of the nuclear era. The nuclear era has come to an end. Will it take years and decades for it to end? Absolutely. But it's like the mustard gas and the nerve gas of World War I. Just because we have it doesn't mean we fucking use it. Just because scientists invent something doesn't mean we fucking use it. We've had that in a can for 100 years. As it got out, we don't go there. We don't use it to fight. No, of course I guess W did. He used white phosphorus on his own fucking men. As the fucking post-ignorance has, it's underway. It's underway. It's happening right now. Is it too late for us, our generation? Probably. But at least history will be able to look back and say there were some fighters and some warriors. As I've been in the trench, I have never been a general, I've never been a corporal, I've never been moved up off E5 pirate. As I die, I hope if I go, I want this to be known, and I've told my daughters this, I have an old quilt that my grandmother made me, that I still have when I was 6 years old. I still sleep in it. The DNA on that quilt, oh, could that tell a tale. Woo! Wrap me up in that thing. Put me in a simple pine box or just in a hole. And put me on this beautiful landscape like they did Edward Abbey. If I can go down like he went down, and I can tell even a little bit, 1/100th of that man, what he did with his beautiful literature, my life's a success. If I can be 1/1000th of a percent of Wallace Stegner, if I could be 1/1000th of a percent of Rachel Carson, my life is fulfilled. As, yeah, I made millions on Wall Street as a derivative trader. My money's all gone, but it doesn't matter because my path is set in stone now. As I made a promise to God while I was in there when they told me I was going to die. Whoever God may be, whether it be the wind, the birds, the jet stream, the water, the blue herons that I'm so in love with on this landscape. I made a deal. If you let me live, I will live to tell this tale, and I will fight this clean, beautiful, real fight for humanity and future generations, and that's what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. So I'm going to live to tell. And the tell is going on. Fukushima is going on just as strong today as it was the 20, and it will kill millions, many millions. But Fukushima and the information age and these YouTube cameras and my tell and many others' tells, the vloggers, all you beautiful writers out there, you real ones, you will go down in history as putting an end to the nuclear freaking nightmare, as the chemical warfare era ended. Right here, the same place, as it's stored right there by where they store the waste, right here in my backyard. As I live to tell, stay tuned. I will tell this tale of nuclear fallout. I've given this documentary from my room as my path, as I hope some people can watch. As my form of leukemia is extremely extreme. It is hardcore. It's extreme, big time. I'm still very sick, but as I went on, I was asked by some psychologists and I was asked from some different people. I had 2 different people come to me this week. A woman came to me and she says, you know, because of you, my uncle's alive, she told me this morning, because he's been watching your videos. He got sick and nobody could figure out, and he kept arguing with him. He finally showed up at Cleveland Clinic and told him about my path, and he had my path in his head. And he fought and he argued. The doctors couldn't figure it out. Sure shit was leukemia. She says, your videos turned him on. I got an email today. I got an email from a young girl's mom today. I mean, I cried for 2 hours. I'll put up her video. It's the most heartbreaking thing. She's a young girl from here. Kevin, please keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you're doing. Because I want people to look, as I did my poetry of anger, and I did all my things, as I'm the artist, as I tried to do that to keep myself alive, and I tried to use poetry of anger, and I've tried to use information, and I've tried to walk, and I've pushed myself. I have defied all the odds by being alive. I literally have defied the odds. And I want people to look at this fight of mine. There's hope out there. There's hope. Even these fake radical military industrialized complex, radical fake Christian devils as they are, have poisoned this beautiful place. And they're trying to kill us, and they've killed us all. This is World War IV. I will keep putting this up because I made a deal. I made a deal with all of you, and I made a deal with everybody, and I don't need any fucking help. I don't need any armchairs or anything. This is my own personal battle. It always has been. It is post-ignorance. It is my cultural battle. It is my art. It is my whole path. It is my entire life. This is who I was meant to be. This is what it was meant to be. I know that now. I know that now. As the doctor told me, Kevin, when I was in there dying, she says, Kevin, maybe the dots will connect down the road why this happened to you. You know, I'm not one of these people. I don't think that. I don't think, why me, why me. I don't. I honestly don't think, why me. Because I watch these young girls in here dying. I'm 52. I see 17-year-olds, 19-year-olds, 27-year-olds, 23-year-olds dying. I think of it like this. I've been given a second chance. Yeah, I'm broke. I'm wiped out. My finance career over. My teaching career, it's devastated me. It's changed my life dramatically. It's put me on a lonely island. As I know lots of girls. I'm not lonely in that way. Never have been that way. But on this fight and this battle with leukemia, as anybody who has this disease, they know exactly what I'm talking about. They know exactly. Or their spouses, or their loved ones who are left behind. They know what I'm talking about. Stay tuned. I will live to tell the tale. And again, to Thomas Ackerman, when you say look into the eyes of the Rembrandt paintings, oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. I went to his birthday party. We got another birthday party of my favorite artist of all time coming up soon, Michelangelo. I hope all these people that watch this video are alive to celebrate that one. Coming up, Kevin Blanch.